Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Moin. Good evening, everybody. Hello, and welcome to this week's stream. Yes, Jerry is, what do you call it, on holiday? Weird concept. Not sure if that will ever catch on. So he's missing this week. Hello, Amanda. Welcome, Zoidpinhead, Dan Lee, Jill. Very nice of you to come by. I was contemplating about painting on stream again, but then again, no, not today. I can't. I was looking for my opener. So we'll just have a little talk, if I can achieve talking. I think I need to wet my whistle. Excuse me. So, as some of you may have noticed on the Twitch chat, today is my anniversary of being a Twitch affiliate for 6 years now. Oh. Can you believe it? 6 years I've been doing this now. And potentially be making money. Oh, that's nice, Soypin, but you need to type very loudly so we know when some sports board thing is happening. Otherwise, we will miss it. I'm hoping Jerry is not screaming at any of the locals. That would be terrible. So, where to start? I made some notes. I'm not sure where to actually begin. Let's start with free stuff. Free is always good, isn't it? So, with my big... Where is it? My big Tyranid project being on its way and everything, I had to reorder some magnets. And since the ones I ordered previously were out of stock, I got some from Spellcrow. And Spellcrow, in the box of magnets, put in this. You might not see what this is. And to be fair, I need to use my magnifying glass to make details. Hello, Lazagram. But I found what it is. Let me see if I can show you. Go here, perhaps. Yes. It's the orc on the far right corner in the rank at the back. One tiny 10 mil orc from, what's the game called again? Argatoria. Great. I mean, I have to say, it's really hard to make out. The detailing on this little tiny orc is amazeballs for a 10mm miniature. Since on the homepage they only have the painted version, it's hard to get a grip of scale because those look like ordinary 15 or 28s. But it's tiny. Very tiny. If I do remember to do so, I'll just put this to one side. I'm going to take a picture of this and use some kind of other miniature as a reference so you can actually get a grip on the scale of all this. The game has been on my radar for some time, but there's nobody playing in this area, so yeah. It's not that expensive, I guess. 125, 2 armies and a rulebook, but I don't need another game. I really don't. I have games aplenty. But if you happen to get one or two of the minis, I think those would make great practice for tiny miniatures, or just have them as an Easter egg somewhere on a diorama. Hello, Jefferson. Yes, need is the very important operator here. Plus, even though it's just 10 mil, I don't think I can fit any more games in this room. I just can't. Something would have to give, and I don't really want to throw out anything. That being said, I need to remind me, people. I need to check on how long I need to keep paper records for my self-employment. But I'm pretty sure there are some of those that are so out of date they can be discharged, so I can make room. That was one talking point I had on my bucket list. The other one is something that rarely happens to me. When I see a news article on any site, this time it happened to be on OTT, about a new terrain piece for a kind of system I don't care or don't play as much, but the sheer visual appearance is very appealing to me. At this time, let me see if I can put it on. I guess some of you will have already guessed. Is the Old Fortress by Kromlech. I really do like the look of this, and the seemingly very modular design. It's quite tempting. Only thing that currently buggers me is they don't have put a price on it yet. And looking at their other MDF terrain kits, I'm not sure where this will land. My guess would be anywhere between 50 and 100 euros. Yeah, the very big parts are pricey, but if you look at some of the smaller terrains, they are not as expensive. I've got some of the Frostgrave terrain, and that's reasonable priced. If it's up to 100 euros, that might be something that goes on the birthday wish list. I think above 100 euros, I think I quit. I wouldn't go that far for an MDF kit. Also, I didn't catch if it was pre-painted. It doesn't say so. No, it's obviously not pre-painted, because the picture says painted by Gardens of Hecate. So, yeah, I'm guessing this will be just a MDF kit. Maybe that will help to bring down the cost, but we will see. The wonky goblin. Yes, kind of, sort of, not really. Yeah, and what really made me looked at this and said, yeah, this could work, is the relative simple geometry that this thing has. Just like it's sitting there, it's a very fantasy fortress, whatever. But I also could see if you put gun emplacements on top of the towers to be just a 40k-ish grimdark defense post of some kind. with a few tweaks and maybe additions, so that could be used in multiple ways, I think. Well, Orcubits always help, man. We know that. Orcs always can use everything. But I think to orcify something, that would be... Would orcifying a fort be possible to still look 40k-ish and fantasy-like? I feel fantasy orcs are too clean? Question mark? Not sure. Not sure. Anywho, have you all finished your hobby sprinkling challenges? I haven't. Not yet. There's about 1 or 2 bazillion Tyranids that still need some paint. Yeah, but I'm quite sure if I can manage to put in another paint shift tomorrow and on Friday, I can actually make it before Saturday. So here's hoping. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get all the bases done as well. But I won't stress out about those. Hello, Ewok Kebab. You never started. Oh, well, yeah, there's... Well, that's very sorry to hear, Jill. I hope your carpal tunnel is getting better, and it didn't keep you, obviously, from gardening. Lovely plot you have there. I mean, technically, I'd be impressed with myself if I can make the next 2 paint, the next 2 colors, which be three colors technically. Getting all the bone-colored pieces, so teeth, claws, talons, all the like. Second color being the carapaces, and third color being all the tongue and sticky out bits that need to be red to have some kind of visual interest. If I can manage that before the end of the weekend, I'm going to be very happy with myself. Which is going to be... it's going to be a close call, especially since on Saturday my little girl has her birthday and we will be doing something different. I see. Yeah. And painting miniatures with the shovel is not a good idea, let me tell you from experience. Technically, with the brown undercoating, the bone color, the purpley and the red, and the marine juice hue, we're at 5 colors, not counting the white and black primer. I'm happy with if that army is done to that level of detail. I'm guessing if that then sits on the table, I won't be bothered with no highlighting or anything. Plus, I got myself something to put into a really useful box because I need a large piece. Mustn't be too loud with that because the cats don't like it. Yeah, so that's the current state of my hobby project. Then last week, I'm not sure who put it out and where I'd seen the link first. I've seen it on Mastodon and I've seen it on the Discord. There was the movie. Let me get the title correct. Miniature Wargaming the movie from 2015 and 16. It's an interesting watch. I hate that it ends on a cliffhanger that can't be resolved because the planned following next series adaptation in regards to wargaming never came to fruition, which is a shame. It is a documentary of sorts. I wouldn't really call it documentary because even though it starts very much like a documentary, its main focus is following two lads in their hobby journey with, or more, four lads, two going to an international competition of, I think it's Flames of War, and two guys separately, individually trying to get a foothold in the industry that is tabletop wargaming. Yeah, the following series that was teased with a cliffhanger was on Kickstarter and failed for some reason. I think the maker said the industry is not pushing enough. Not sure how much fairness there is in that, but it never came to anything. But what I liked very much was that our beloved Lloyd and Warren had some appearances in that very video. The link to the video will be in the YouTube description. Just look on YouTube for Miniature Wargaming the movie. Hello, Zork. And two things struck me. One, God, 10 years ago is a fucking long time ago. And the other is, I do miss the Brothers Johnsons on the show. I really do. For the longest time now, I've felt that something's missing on the Weekender and the XLBS. And I think, for me personally, the main thing is the weird shenanigans both brought to the table is just missing. Warren's weird theories on aliens and his quests for Cogitus Ludos and derailing conversations with weird movies he's watched or things that some dude on YouTube might have been saying. Yeah, it's as you said, Danley, it's not, how to put it. This is difficult because I'm really lacking words and vocabulary here. The Weekender always was more or less a news show with the emphasis of show, so that's more or less the same, even with a bit less of lunacy. But the XLBS, which, as we have learned from Jerry, stands for extra large bullshit, is lacking bullshit a lot. And as you say, Zoid Pinhead, Shay just being gone now and apparently not even saying goodbye for whatever reason. Deadly, I don't think that we can blame Wayland for most of it. It has been a very formulaic version of the Weekender ever since ever since they went during the event, going only from the office. There's just that seemed to be a very sad turning point. Yeah, Jill. I think it was more or less a side note on last week's or weeks before mentioning by any of the guys saying, yeah, Shay is off with his girlfriend to Poland, I guess. I think, or Czechia. Yeah, that's as Soypenhead says. Yeah, well, that's another thing. The visitor center being closed. I wonder if that might have to do something with the opening of the other hobby shop that's more or less only half a street away. Which was what's it called again? Misfits Hobbies, I think. And they seem to be very keen on getting people inside the shop and playing games. And I'm not sure how that worked for OTT in the end, if there was any activity in store at all, or if it just was Jerry and his mates and nobody else. um, Lazaram, I never was to Korean. I've never set foot on Ireland in any capacity, so I can't really tell which shop is bigger. I can only go by pictures. And well, a small shop that's trying to get community running is certainly more appealing than a closed shop. I mean, have you noticed that now on tabletop in the top bar next to your login there's a prominent button for the YouTube channel? That's been there now for I think a week or something. I'm not sure how much restructuring is going on in the background. Especially if you look at the recordings. Jerry is sitting somewhere in the studio live because he has a shadow that's bouncing off the background, and whoever is with him in the studio is green screened because there's no shadow bouncing off the back of the card. I'm not sure if they've given up. Maybe it's just it's not the time for Beasts of War anymore. Let's try to differentiate. On tabletop was conceptually or is conceptually a news aggregate, a promotional company, and Beasts of War was more focused on the hobby side, on the community side. But that's just my interpretation, my impression from way far away. And I really think the weird and wacky and almost irresponsibly irritations that is Lloyd and Warren is missing. I mean, when was the last time we've seen a jerry can, a build vlog, a 3 colors up? I couldn't tell you. I think there's. I don't want to say something's wrong, but yeah, it's getting quiet, and not just on this site. if you have taken a look at the Discord in recent days, I feel it's getting very quiet. Yeah, Jill, and also the fact that they were sitting opposite of each other and had to bounce off in a more direct and personal way was more living, but we had that discussion Monday times. Yeah, the not live coverage from UK Games Expo was something that irritated me as well. My guess on that is probably lack of manpower. I'm not sure who all went to UK Games Expo, but in last years it's been the whole crew. Uh, now I need to get my dictionary out because I don't know what that word means. And I'm not going to tell you which word I'm looking up because that would be very annoying. Jesus Christ, what happened on the internet today? Everywhere. Okay. That's a tough question, Jill. I'd say yes. Simply because, if I remember correctly, Wayland is still one of the major sponsors of the event. Well, you can record all you want. If you have a misrecording or something just gets scrambled or isn't up to snuff or just doesn't, the audio doesn't work, you're not going to upload it. Let me just see. Yeah, Wayland Games is one of the major sponsors, so I'm guessing OTT will be a media partner in 2027. Unless there will be very interesting changes in the next few months. Oh, I didn't notice that, Jill. That UKGE had brought somebody else along to do organizational stuff. But still, that doesn't mean that the media partner is changing. It's weird. It's like, yeah, to draw a comparison for myself, it's like watching my local gaming club's forum just dying, or as of now, being dead, having a steep downhill decline in new entries and discussions because either people don't care anymore or they've wandered off to Discord or more annoyingly to WhatsApp groups, which is horrible. Yeah, but that kind of brings me to a thought I had today. Um, I I was thinking when I started this hobby in late 1990s, early 2000s, where do I get my information on new games, on rules, on interesting conventions? And it boiled down to talking to other guys and reading White Dwarf. And that's about it, because the internet hadn't launched really at that point in any capacity. That came in the early 2000s. And at that point, forums were all the rage, and web rings and blogs, because YouTube and Facepage didn't launch until 2004, 2005. And only, I think, 2008, 9, 10, when they really started taking off. In these first 10 years of the 2000s, I think we had the most information available. And it's, yeah. Today, we're spoiled for choice. There's bazillion YouTubes. There's even more on Twitch, blogs, Patreon. As so many ways to get your hobby information that I, for my part, really need to cut the weeds and leave some Discord servers. Not read some forums on a daily basis anymore because I can't keep up. Yeah, Wonky, last year I think it still was Warren and Lloyd joining the team. Not sure what position those two are in currently in the bigger grand scheme of Wayland and Business Daddies acquisitions. I don't know. I know as much as you, and some of you may probably know more than me. The Wayland side has some very Lloyd looks. I seem to remember that Warren at one point said that they would be taking positions at Business Daddy, and at least he is also more or less very active in what do you call it? In the Armored Clash Discord. So there seemed to be some kind of community management, maybe. I don't know. It's not like they're having nameplates stitched to their faces. And we haven't seen them for a bloody long time. Boot camp! Jill said boot camp! Oh. Why exactly next year, Jill? Is there something I'm missing? Is there some kind of anniversary? Well, the URL change was actually something they had planned for eons, and that has been sitting at the ready ever since they called it on tabletop. They just never came around to actually adjust the WordPress installation to grab that link. So, yeah, it's odd. Good morning, Mr. Nick. How was your sleeping schedule? How is your on tabletop spring clean challenge project coming along, if you have one? There might be a major IP with a substantial anniversary next year. Battletech just had their 40th. Just this. Oh, New Hope turns 50. I think Warren and Lloyd would love to do something, but I don't think that will happen. I wish it would. If listen, I know I'm going to regret that, but Jill, if you're talking to any of the team about that and ideas, count me in. I'll do what I can. I'll do support in whatever capacity I can do from here. Well, infecting OTT with spores sounds like a grand plan. Same wonky. If you're trying to do something like that, give me a heads up on anything you'd like some help with. I'm happy to do my part. 50th anniversary fire sale. You monster! Okay, Nick is doing his Lynn's French Crusade diorama. Okay. I mean, I say I support you in your endeavors, and yet here I sit, 6 years Twitch affiliate anniversary, and I had prepared exactly nothing. I just, I was thinking about stuff. I had my reminder set for 2 weeks, and I just, nah. I drew a blank. And to be fair, I wouldn't know if the audience that is here, all 20 of you, would appreciate what weird gubbins I might come up with. I think I've bored you enough with watching me wash Space Marine juice on turnips. Nick has planned an 11th edition diorama planned that's gonna enrage Space Marine players. You're going to do female Space Marines in hot tubs? Seriously, I couldn't think of anything on how to rage bait wargamers for most of the time. Oh, bright flag towels. Yeah, that's a great addition. Make them all rainbow warriors, but use the trans flag colors. That they are more grimy dark than the others. Why are people always so pissed so fast in a hobby? Get a hold of yourselves, lads. But since Nick brought up the dreaded word of Games Workshop, Warhammer 40k 11th edition, am I the only one thinking that 11th isn't really flying off shelves? I don't know why, but it seems to me like nobody really cares. Give them also Roritas heads or Imperial Guard hands. Good evening, Mr. Cuts, James. See, Bender, that might be, but at the same time, I was very irritated when I've seen a Facebook post on the Warhammer store from Bremen, and the store manager is literally sitting on a throne made of 11th edition boxes. Oh no, James is having fun. How dare you? And it's not all the fact that all stores still have stock to pre-order, but the usual wave of scamming people on eBay is really quiet. So I wonder how that release is going for them, especially with all the flock ops on the rulebooks. Made to order orcs. Have you won the lottery? Yep, but that would still mean that scalpers would try to sell, but there is nobody trying to sell. That's my point. I think I'll stay away from that edition for now. My previous complaint that the free rules download was only available in English has been remedied. There's now rules in German, so I might even try to read them, even though I don't think I'll get very far. What the fuck is Gandalf's Ship Adventure? Oh, I'm talking about Mr. Jerry being on. Jerry was on a ship in the best house. Oh, yeah, that might be. I don't know. I only know he's off in the faraway land where it's very cold and dark, and he wants to scream at people when they don't understand him ordering beer, which I don't think helps. Don't apologize, James. I wonder how boring that pub must be that you decided to join in on stream. Card packs. That's something that. Why is that a thing? Why do you need cards for 40k? It just doesn't make sense. Oh, I hate when I feel that I'm sounding like the oldest fart in the universe. Oh, so we are just the gap filler then. Ah, I see how it is, Mr. Katz. I see. Well, as long as you still have some kind of beverage in front of you, welcome to our little sit-in. It always depends. I think. I mean, technically, I shouldn't be talking too much gobshite about cards because X-Wing and Legion always also do cards in a big way, but at the same time, it works differently than. I feel like from what I've seen, the unit cards are enormous. Not just small, but gigantic. And that just irritates me. Why things that are extra large feel like they're made for either babies or blind dead people. Yeah, I give you that. Ewok, the card system Legion is very fun. Also because it's very easy. You have one unit card. Everything you need to know about that unit is on a small card. And at most you have 3 to 4 additional cards with upgrades. Very brown beer juice. Have at you. Where's the opener gone? Nobody moves! I need my opener. Because the cola is empty and now we go for orange lemonade. And that does make brown lemonade in my tummy. Yeah, that's to be hoped that Jerry has some amusement in regards to whatever he enjoys in his holiday. Again, cards are not the problem per se. I just feel like Games Workshop doesn't need them really. They're just put in there to be annoying and so that they're able to sell you more stuff after the fact. Yeah, exactly. Cards equals money. That's the point. Oh, I have an idea. The little freebie orc I got, I might hide him in one of my Armored Clash bases. You think somebody will notice? And Jill, I'm totally with you on that, but at the same time, the earlier editions of 40k went well without them. Ooh, nice, Mr. James Gunn. Are you staying the whole weekend, or are you just being there for one day then? Because I'm probably not going to make a stay over weekend there, so I'll be just for one day. If nothing catastrophe happens. Fairy, what's the mercy? You do need to remind me about that, James, when 2027 starts, so that I can get my shit together and organize going there. See, Wonky, that's the thing. If you offer a tool in addition to anything, that's everybody's choice. But people need to be able to make stuff work without any kind of electronics, in my humble opinion. I don't want to have my phone next to me on the gaming table all the time. I really don't. He could be. He could be. Though I'm not sure what his plans are exactly for his holidays. He didn't give me a rundown on where he's going to be and what he's going to do, just that he's not here, which is quite obvious. You say that now, Wonky, and then somebody finds a bug and breaks the app. Yeah, Jerry is off to Sweden, but Sweden is a country. There's more things to be had there than just sitting in a pub, I guess. Amazon keeps trying to deliver Guinness to James, but he's in the pub. Well, I don't think the pub would be very happy if you said to the Amazon driver, "Come here and bring me the beer here." Why are you even ordering Guinness via Amazon? What is that weirdness? I thought Guinness is available broadly in any liquor store or shop in the United Kingdom. I mean, I can get Guinness from almost every supermarket here. Guinness and Kilkenny. That's those two. So you've fallen for the sales trap. Oh, James. Save 50 quid when you buy now. Save 100 quid if you don't buy at all. Though to be true, I don't know what the actual price for a can of what do you call it? Guinness is in Germany currently. My Scottish heart would smell for you, but it's too shriveled. Oh no, Joe, I don't think you have a shriveled heart. Yeah, I think you're one of the least shriveled-hearted people in this very room. Let me see if I can. A pint is about 0.44 liters, is it not? If so, a can of pint in my local supermarket is $1.79. £7 for a pint, Jesus Christ. Any hobby news? Well, we talked about the new Kromlech fantasy fort. That looks very tempting to me, but still has no price attached to it. And that the nice folk of Spellcrow had included a tiny miniature with my magnets that I bought. And what was the third thing we talked about? Oh yeah, watching the movie Miniature Wargaming. 568 mil. So it's a bit less. Oh no. My battery has died. Hold on. Replug-in. Auxiliary power. Go back. Oh. And go down. What a shame. Battery bunk empty. Needs to be refilled after the show. You have to go for a pint, don't they? Oh, I forgot. No, that's nothing. That not a thing in in pubs. Table service, is it? That's a thing you have in other countries. You don't need to get up to the bar and order your pint. You just sit and wait until the waiter comes around, and you just wave your hands and go, I'm thirsty. Bring me another. I'm not sure which is the better method. Yeah, exactly. If you need to get up to get another drink, you feel in your feet how much you already had. That being said, that can be a very tricky thing if there's a whole table of people and you're the first one to grab around, and then each of the other lads and lasses grabs around, and when it's your time, you're already at beer number 8 or 9. Done. But to be fair, I wouldn't make it to 8 beers. Not today anymore. I think 1 or 2 is okay. 3 would be pushing it very hard. After my 4th beer, I think you could start telling me to shut up and send me home. To my own surprise, I've never fell down anywhere when I was drunk. The worst thing that happened was one time I went home, and just when I came around at the entryway, I took the corner a bit too wide with my bicycle, and yeah, I took a dive in neighbor's hedge. And the other thing was, I was so drunk, I crawled out the pub on all fours, but I never fell. Oh, I lied. One time I fell in a club, but I only fell backwards, and my fully filled glass I had in my hand at the time of falling didn't spill a drop. Yeah, 3 rounds sounds like a decent night to go, especially at 7 quid a pop. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that happened to me when I was 25-ish, 26. I was young. I could stomach a lot. Oh, and we were laughing. We were laughing so hard. Yeah, James. See, that's how you make money. You buy for a quid and sell for 7. Well, I'm not going to say what accidental German word you just wrote in your text, which made me giggle. But I understand what you're writing. You do that, James. In all seriousness, if any one of you makes it to anywhere close in the region, I'll try to make my best to come over. I thought that word was more or less common in the English language, since it has been. Oh no, it's the more generic form that's very prominent in World War II movies, I guess. And in case you're wondering about the pronunciation, it's literally the first half of Sauron. Sau. So have fun with that knowledge, wherever that goes. Yes, being the female pig. more or less meaning exactly the female peg that is used to breed. A happy little typo. To see so soon. Sprucon, never heard of her. I'm guessing that's something that's over on the UK side. Oh, excuse me. Why do you want Wonky to have a hotel room on Sprucon, James? Is there something we need to know? Oh yeah, I do remember that video. I think Ben doing an interview, but was it Sprucon? I had a different name in mind, but that might be just my brain. It's going to be the train that's the fucking killer. That's one of the very to me funny moments in the miniature wargaming the movie when the two lads going over to, I think it was Sweden or Denmark, could be either, for a tournament, and they looked at the plane tickets and went, yeah, getting to London will be more expensive than the actual trip on plane. Which is mind blowing. Ah, yeah, lead belt. I see. You keep your secrets. That'll be an interesting part in upcoming documentaries about weird people in the industry. You are a very silly bunch, you know that, but that's why I love you. Chill my cancer hurting now. Not sure if she wants to be a witness. Almost sounds like a planned wedding. Mr. and Mrs. Wonky Goblin Cuts. See, that's another thing that I've been just now realizing is missing from the community. Wasn't there a pair of users that married more or less in the forum? And the team was somehow involved? Question mark. There was something, wasn't there? Am I imagining stuff? Am I making stuff up? Do I become AI? Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was something like that. Way back in the before times. I seem to. Someone dressed like a Joker? What the flock is dirty, mucky coffee? Or is it just regular coffee? I see nothing wrong with regular coffee. Why would there be anything wrong? And coffee goes all times. Coffee is great. Coffee is warm. Coffee never questions your life's choices. Coffee is always there for you. I do offer coffee in the pub when I'm the designated driver. Oh, the staff hates me anyway. Why make it easier for them? Plus, let's face it, with modern coffee makers, most pubs and cafes have it more easy than the last 20 years to quickly shell out a coffee. And when I worked at the door for the disco, we drank coffee until the morning. Drink 0%. It's almost but not quite entirely unlike beer. I'm not going to drink alcohol-free beer. That's like sex without climax. Where's the point? We're drinking for effect. You people are very weird. uh, we can argue about coffee in a pub all night long if you wish. My point stands. If I crave a coffee and the bean calls, then the bean call must be answered. And it's only 10 p.m. So it's 9 p.m. on your side. So what? What's the fuss about? Normal, honest. I swear. Oh, James, you haven't answered the question yet. How's your on tabletop spring clean challenge project coming along? Or do you don't have any? Do you have any? Do you do not have anyone? You know what I mean. Try Ben, James. Try to coerce Ben into coming to Tactica. Maybe he can make it a business trip for OTT, so some of the expenses are paid. Jill, that's terrible. Do not lie to your customers, especially if they're in need of coffee. This year's Tactica, snag a normie, bring him to Tactica. I mean, Ireland is a bit far off to grab somebody to ride along, but I think there should be some people on mainland Britain that you could just take away. Yeah, this is it. The inspiration, the ideas we had from Peace of War somehow seems to be missing. Ireland is the center of northwestern Europe. Yes, but it's an island. Even though it's in the center, it's very much off. Ah, Well, what comes after spring clean? Is there anything planned for summer? I'm pretty sure Jerry has mentioned something, but I forgot. Terrain Fest is for end of year again? Oh, and just as a how to put it? Today on the Discord from MS Paints started the Secret Santa for 2026. So should we? Is there anything we really want to do? Because to be honest, the last 2 or 3 years, Secret Santa happenings were the responses were a bit underwhelming. You made Dave buy Gundam? Doesn't he buy Gundam by himself? I think Dave is a little hoarder himself, as has been proven by today's pre-release video for his patrons. Yeah, James, you might take part, but last time I tried, we were about, I think, 6 people on a website with alleged, I don't know how many thousand members. Let me just check again. I think there was a way to see in members lists. Hold on. $15,352 members. 40 might even be stretching it, Jill. Depending on if you're adding up people only lurking in Discord and people only lurking on site. Let me see. How many are there on there? So there's 20 logins in the last 3 hours. Let's see how many in the last 24 hours. Yeah, more or less 80 people have logged in the last 24 hours. But for 80 people, there's very little participation in any shape or form. Good evening, Mr. Crispin. Hello and welcome. You're late to the party, but very much welcome nonetheless. I hope you have almost finished your Autumn Tabletop Spring Clean Challenge project by now. Probably you're going to tell me now that you don't have a project, which is fine. On average, Wonky wins one £50 voucher here. Yeah, I think I'll have to wait a few more years to get down to that average of £50 a year again after winning the Indomitus box and the what was the fantasy box called again? I can't remember. since those are a bit more expensive. I'm always very impressed about what do you call it? The descriptors Jerry uses for where people have been selected from on winning the voucher. The new YouTubes and what James has won Spaz Marines. Well, yeah, but let's be fair. We're not on the site for the prizes, unlike some users that just spring up when there's a comment to be made to win something. You're in there for nice people, James? Oh, do I have bad news for you? See? We start to forget how much we won over the years. And the we're Germans? Why are you talking in the plural form? Is there more than one German? I guess there is, to a degree. But yes, I might have sounded a bit down for how the current state of Beast of War / on tabletop is, and that's maybe because I really do miss the weird and wacky that was the Brothers Lloyds, and I wish they would come back, but at the same time, I know the feeling when you don't are with an idea fully, and you just don't want to go through with it. I mean, there's so many open things we need to know. Has Lloyd ever had the intention of building Rome? Is his shed dry by now? Has Warren finished any of his projects for his basement? What happened to his laser cutter thingamajig that almost burned down his shed? See, Joe, that's exactly the thing. I don't think I was there in the great big heydays when I stumbled across the site, but because I do remember when I signed up for Beast of War that just a few days after the transition to the Beast of War 2.0 happened, and there was much moaning about losing the forums and stuff. I think we need to acknowledge that we are getting old as fuck. People are falling out of the hobby, and things change. And let me tell you, I hate change. I hate change big time. I want things to stay the same. That comforts me. I like things to be the same every day. Oh, they partnered with Geek and Sundry. Oh, that's going back way. Oh, jeebus. Uh the guild. Justin and Dragons. Gone. Why? I don't know. Sad face. Not sure that is actually a good thing, Evo Kebab. I did enjoy watching the guild way back when over the Xbox 360. But for some reason that was the only way to watch it for me at the time. I don't think that works today. I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess there's a part truth to that. That Kaiser is now busy with doing proper business, but at the same time, the comics never felt like an obligation, but some weird idea that he just had and scribbled down. Yeah, it was just voluntary work, but it was fun nonetheless. I think that made them so good because they didn't come from a I need to do it. But he hasn't got a Justin, does he? No. No, it's all fair, Jill. I'm not blaming Caesar for anything. It's just that I do miss the quote unquote monthly comic in there, having a giggle at the expense of the staff. I'm not sure he actually cries into his pillow. If he's anything like many other creative people that I know, he might have not regrets. Regrets is the wrong word. He might feel a little sting at times, remembering doing these weird little comics. And then he's getting swamped with work. James, don't forget that you need to catch a bus. You just mentioned a few minutes ago. You're not being serious right now, are you? Oh, for the love of God. I think I never missed a bus. That being said, I missed my bus stop because I was reading. When I looked up, suddenly I was somewhere what I didn't recognize, and it was like, fuck, I'm too far. That's very much true, James. If you're the pub, at least you're dry from the outside. Maybe set a timer or ask a nice lady behind the bar to shove you out the door 10 minutes before you need to catch the bus. Oh, bloody hell. Or having a pub in line of sight of the office, it's dangerous, I think. For wallet and health. Oh, Jill, he can blame me all he wants. I have broad shoulders. I'm sitting comfortably in my own home. So You go and blame. Blame away. In the far future, there's only blame. Depending on where you're staying in Hamburg, you might want to make yourself comfortable with the public transport in Hamburg. I'm not sure how next year's plan is. I think this year there was some diversions because of works being done on several road and networkings, but yeah. Tactica will be at the end of February, if I remember correctly. Let me just quickly check. 20th and 21st of February 2027. If you have a car, I highly recommend you not use the car to go directly to Tactica, because there's very little parking space, and the city of Hamburg is very quick with towing. So maybe not go by car to Tactica. Leave it in the appropriate space where you're staying and use public transport. It's not as expensive as in England, I swear. And yes, block Brexit. 10 years already. Jeebus. Oh, don't remind me, Mr. Zoidmanhead. It still baffles me that such a blatant and obvious lie actually is believed by common folk. That being said, I know how stupid German voters are. And I really am a bit worried about upcoming elections in the next 3-4 years. Did he though, Jill? I never. What if we could somehow actually ask everyone who voted Brexit why they voted for them, and then find out that half of the nitwits voted Brexit because they thought it was funny? Imagine that. Jesus Christ, from Labour to Reform. I'll be the first to admit that I do not have a deeper grasp of foreign policies or internal workings at any country outside my own. But what I have seen from the likes of Reform, fuck me! Have they started printing swastikas yet? Jesus Christ. This is getting dark. And I blame the orange monkey. No worries, Jill. That would have come up sooner or later, and yeah, it's I I can't adopt you, but we could make a working agreement since I'm self-employed. That would make you eligible for working visa. How about that? I don't think so. Plus, Prussian soil is more like Polish territory now. In all fairness, I think with everyday life, you don't really need that much German. Especially if you're in one of the larger cities like Hamburg, because there's so much tourism going on there. I'm pretty sure you'll find English-speaking folk. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have a hard time grasping the basics of what is German if you put your mind to it. Plus, I'd be happy to help. We will be doing a test. Well, ordering beer fluently works in every language, I think. The only problem I foresee would be with ordering food. Oh, Jill, to be fair, if we put a proper Scottish-speaking person somewhere in East Frisia, so that's more or less a bit to the west from here, where people speak a very weird dialect that is called Plattdeutsch, nobody will know the difference. You'll just be spanking okay. I'm not even joking. There's dialects in that region that are so far from what is called High German that nobody from our regional parts is actually getting what they say. They're closer to Dutch. Oh yeah, that Jill, wasn't there another vote on the referendum to have Scotland independent? Swiss German is fine. Schweizerdeutsch. Oh, they want to hold another one. Well, fingers crossed. Or as we say in German, wir halten euch die Daumen. Who needs permission? Act now. Ask for forgiveness later. Yeah, not really all backwards, just to a degree. Partially, maybe. Don't let yourself get caught by numbers. The most problem will be the article where you lot only use the and a. Der, die, das, ein, einer, eine. Maybe I should think of something like Wargaming translations for German. I do remember the referendum in 2014, but I can't remember how close the vote was. Was it even close? I do remember that I was rooting very much for Scotland to get independent. Oh, that's bloody close. And come to think, how everything else would have changed after the rest of the United Kingdom went on to go Brexit if Scotland would have become independent prior to that. Yeah, but it's all ifs, and hindsight is 2020, and some people are just stupid when voting. I'm not sure who said it, but what's the quote? Think about how stupid the average human is, and then start remembering that there need to be people even more stupid to make that an average. Yeah, they're not bad people. They're just very short-sighted, and some of them are just plain led in the false direction on purpose, which is the worst thing. If people start or stop listening to reason and facts and believe every crap that's shoved down their throat, it's yeah. Hold the line. Well, yeah. Well, next time you do so, James, do one for me as well. Send him kind greetings. Because we can tolerate everything except the intolerant. We don't need those. But to the great dismay of James, who will now be sitting in the pub without entertainment, I will take now my leave for tonight. For two reasons. Reason number one, my drinks are empty and I'm starting to cough again. Reason number two, my drinks are empty and my bladder is full. And I'm an old fart and I need to go pee. Everybody, thank you for being here. Keep fingers crossed that I do manage to finish my terrain challenge thingamajig, because I really want that done and dusted and checked marked off my list. You enjoy your evening. You do some hobby, whatever you like. I love you all very much, and I hope to see you again next week. And I hope to see Jerry again as well, but that has to be seen. Hopefully he's getting better as well. And on that bombshell, you enjoy yourselves. Stay safe, stay sane, and remain indoors.